We're coming to the end of winter. Spring is in the air, except it's a crisp 47-degree wind chill today, but we do have a beautiful sky above. The pool is looking full. Still not ready for spring. And if you are a millennial like myself, you grew up watching The Office. And if you're on TikTok or Instagram or really any social media network, you've seen that on the NBC Peacock app, they put a little hidden gem in their terms and agreements. And today we are going to be cooking and smoking Kevin's famous chili from The Office. Let's get started.
Once a year, I like to bring in some of my Kevin's famous chili. The trick is to undercook the onions. Everybody is going to get to know each other in the pot. I'm serious about this stuff. I'm up the night before, pressing garlic and dicing whole tomatoes. I toast my own ancho chilies. It's a recipe passed down from Malone's for generations. It's probably the thing I do best.
Now with this recipe, we are going to have to take a few liberties with it because I couldn't find every single ingredient, or we're just doing things a little bit differently. We're gonna make it easier for you, but it should be all in all really great. And we're gonna be cooking it on our KJ Classic today. A little more of our Kamado Joe Big Block. Freaking, look at that, size of my head. I got a giant ass head. These here. We're gonna break these up, just simple chipping it apart. There we go. We're gonna use our Kamado Joe fire starters here, and we're gonna be putting this right in the middle. We got the fire starters going here. We're gonna bring this up to about 250 degrees. We're gonna be doing a low and slow smoke on this chili, but we gotta go inside. We gotta use our hot box today, the stove. We're gonna use that to do all the ingredients, put it all together, and then we're gonna smoke it for 2 hours on the KJ Classic with our heat deflectors down and using our divide and conquer system. And we're just gonna close the lid and let it ride. Let's go hop back inside and use our hot box to build all those ingredients together. See if we can do our best like Kevin does when he makes the chili. So the ingredients, there's a lot of ingredients. You can see here on my paprika app, this is not a plug by the way, it's something you can do where you can grab recipes off the internet and it categorizes it just like this. So it gets everything together on the ingredient side. It gives you all the directions here. Super awesome app. And all you gotta do is punch in the website and it'll grab it automatically. Paprika app, I think it's like 99 cents, $2.99, whatever. It's totally worth it. What it's telling us to do is that we gotta have ancho chilies, we have to have some oil, 3 pounds of ground beef, 2 medium yellow onions, which are finely chopped, 6 cloves of garlic, a large jalapeno that is chopped, and then a bunch of spices and everything else. And of course, we're gonna be mixing in some of our KomosQ spices as well. But the first thing we have to do is, I didn't have any ancho chilies by itself. I couldn't find them at the store or anything. So I got some ancho chili powder, and the first ingredient tells you to grind up the ancho chilies once you cook them down a little bit and grind it into powder just like that. So we're one step ahead. So the first thing we have to do is turn on our hot box to medium hot, and then we are going to brown the ground beef, stirring occasionally. And to do that, we're gonna be using my chili pan. This is a Le Creuset pot that I found at Goodwill for $4, something like that, about 6 years ago. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of oil in there. And then it tells you to use ground 80-20 meat. We've got 3 pounds of it right here. It's actually about 3.5 pounds, but it's gonna be just fine if you have a little bit of extra meat in there. So we're gonna break this up a little bit and brown it. Shouldn't take super long, and then we're gonna drain it, and then we're gonna cook the onions and mix everything together and put it all in the pot, let it marry or meet together, as Kevin says it in The Office, which you saw in the intro there. We're gonna get all this cooked and let it all meet together in the pot, and then we're gonna smoke it for 2 hours at 250. So let's get this cooked down and warmed up, and we'll see you back here in just a few minutes. It took a little bit longer than a few minutes, like I said here, to cook this down, but you can see it cooked down very nicely. So what we're gonna do is take the pot and we're going to drain it and set it to the side, just like it says. It's okay that there's a little bit of extra meat in there like this, because the next thing we have to do is get our onion, and we're going to undercook the onion. That's the secret to this recipe, apparently, is undercooking the onion. So we're gonna do that, and it's gonna take just about 2 to 3 minutes to get it nice and soft. Then we're gonna mix some more stuff together. We have our onion here. These are 2 yellow onions that have been diced, and we're gonna put them in just like that. I love these disposable cutting boards. You can get them on KomosQ's website, in the store there. These things are great because the cleanup, super simple. After that, in the trash. So now we're going to, as Kevin says, undercook the onions for about 2 minutes is what the recipe says, until they are soft, not about soft, until they're soft. Then we're gonna mix in some more ingredients, some spices, tomatoes, tomato paste, all kinds of stuff to get this chili really cooking. It's been about 2 minutes. You can see the steam rising, but look at these onions. They are slightly undercooked. They're just soft, so that's what you want. So our next step is to add minced garlic. Now, this recipe tells us to do fresh minced garlic. I got the minced garlic right here, and we're just gonna dump in 1, 2 1/2. That is about equal to 4 cloves of garlic minced. We're gonna mix all that in just like this, still on a medium-high heat. Make sure it's not burning. Now we're gonna add some cumin, which we got here. So mix in the cumin, spread that around, just like so. Cayenne pepper, very little bit of this. 1, 2, 3 dashes of that should do it. We got jalapenos, fresh cut jalapenos. I didn't skimp on that because they're cheap and easy to cut. Boom, like so. Finally, some tomato paste right here, Hunt's. And all that goes in, like so. Now we're gonna mix all this together for another couple minutes. Let this reduce down a little bit more. Then we add in that beer you saw me crack open earlier. We're gonna add some of that in. So we're going with this craft beer, Bell's Amber Ale. Never had it before until you saw me just take a sip there. But we're doing 2 12-ounce bottles. So we're mixing that in like this. We're gonna get drunk off this chili. This party's about to get real turned. I can't believe I just said that. So we're mixing that in, 2 12 ounces, like so. Beautiful. We're gonna cook this down a little bit more, about 7 minutes, and it's still on a medium-high heat. So we're gonna cook this down just a little bit longer. Then we're gonna add the rest of our spices, which I got my suggestion of spices from KomosQ. Cosmo doesn't make a chili seasoning himself yet. And when I asked him directly, he said he gave me a suggestion for good ones to put together. So we're gonna have some good flavor and good spices in here pretty soon, but you can already see this is coming out real nice. This is gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be tasty. We'll see you back here in about 5-7 minutes or in an instant, just like that. Next up, we have to take our beans. Yes, there are beans in this famous chili. It's okay. We're gonna take them, and we got chili beans, just Bush's Pinto chili beans right here. And we got 2 cans of them. We're gonna dump those in here, and then we're going to slightly mash them with our potato masher here. So we're just gonna get them. We still want them to have a little bit of shape, but this is kind of what you do when you're making refried beans or anything. We're not doing that, obviously, but it's just gonna give it a little bit of a better texture. Mix it together like this, and then we're gonna add that to the pot along with the meat and all the spices. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost there. We're gonna mix in the beans next. You can see they're mashed, but still, like I said, have a little bit of shape in there. And we're gonna mix those in. And we're gonna mix these in. Make sure you're scraping the bottom when you're doing this, because some of that stuff could get on the bottom and you don't want it to stick. Everything's gonna get to know each other in the pot. Now here's what Cosmo suggested for me for a chili seasoning, at least kind of like a hack. We have some SPG KomosQ rub here. We're gonna toss that across the top. We're gonna go light because we have a lot of garlic in there. Next, we have the clean eating Cosmos tacos. Mix that in like that. And lastly, some of the best damn stuff around, the garlic jalapeno rub. And we're gonna go light with that as well. And last, the ancho chili powder. We put a little more, couple more dashes. There we go. We're gonna mix all this in there like that. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at it coming together. And slowly mix it in. Sorry, I know my hand's in the way there. Yep, there's that grease. It's alright, it's an electric one, so we're not going to see a fire happen. Not to my knowledge. Our last ingredient, it says fresh diced tomatoes. I got fire roasted tomatoes that are already pre-diced for me. Because like I said, trying to do this on a budget. Trying to make it good for everybody else. So we take a few liberties here, but we are not gonna sacrifice the flavor. One more swig. Add just a little more beer on top. We're all vaccinated here. And now, the best part. Cut off the hot box, take your lid, and we're gonna set this outside on that Kamado Joe Classic. Let's go. We got our Kamado Joe Classic up to temp, hurt the grill. Now, the original recipe says let it simmer for 2 hours. We're gonna let it simmer right here with the lid cracked like so to absorb some of that smoke. And we're just gonna shut the lid. Make sure we adjust everything correctly. And we'll see you in 2 hours when we get that smoke addition, because smoke adds flavor. Smoke is a flavor. So we're gonna add that smoke to this, and we're gonna see you in just a couple hours and do an amazing taste test for Kevin's famous chili. It's been 2 hours. This has been absorbing smoke for that long. So we got our Zapron on here. Let's take a look and see. Doesn't look like much right now, but we're gonna mix this together. Take it inside, mix it together, and do a taste test. It smells awesome. And look at that. This chili looks amazing. I'm so excited about this. I've been wanting to make this recipe for a long time. I am a fan of The Office, and you can attest to that. I have a, it's bad how much I like The Office. We're going to plate this in a bowl and put some sour cream on, some shredded cheese. And we're gonna taste test it and make sure it is as good as Kevin says it is. So I was gonna put it in a bowl, but I have this office mug given to me by one of my coworkers a few years ago. And I mean, come on. So we put it in here. A little sour cream, a little cheddar cheese, which the recipe says to put in there. We got a tomato in there, some beans, see jalapeno. Here we go. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Give me a second. That is really good. That is really good. Well, it seems that Kevin Malone really does have some famous chili, because this stuff is amazing. Throw it all together in the pot. Make sure you undercook the onions, because everything will get to know each other inside the pot. Throw it on your smoker for 2 hours at 250, and you're gonna come out with some of the best damn chili you ever had. This is stupid good. I'm Mark Ashby of Grill Mart Co. Make sure you eat well, you do well. We'll see you next time.